Packers will have a first and goal. Receiver to the right, Jimmy Graham. Rodgers, quick toss in the flat, left side, got his man for the end zone, and a touchdown.
First and Goal podcast on Spreaker.com. And we're now on all your favorite platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Tumblr, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can always follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod, and our Facebook page, facebook.com/First and Goal Pod 33.
Get money, yeah. Get money, yeah. Get money, yeah. Get money, yeah. Every day I'm 3, 2, 1.
And welcome, everybody, to another live edition of First and Goal, the 365 post-game show with me, your founder and producer, Jay in the UP. And not as always for this show, but filling in because Ryan is off in Brazil or Antarctica, either chasing Yetis, or he's trying to cover the giant snake attacks. So we can't figure out which one because he doesn't have cell phone coverage. So Dave and I are filling in. Hello, Dave in Georgia.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I'm riding out a little high from this Packers win.
And guess what, guys? Guess what else? I just talked to Dylan on the phone, and he is actually going to call into the show here in a few minutes and talk to us with his analysis. So we will have the three-headed dragon monster for the post-game show. And the Eagles game just got done, too, so we can break down that matchup, which has got NFC North implications also, so it ties in. It's perfect. How about we start out with pluses and minuses, Dave? I got a whole shitload of them, so I'll let you start, and then if you say any, I'll just leave them off my list.
All right. You know what? I'm going to start off with, my first one, the offense. I can't help it. We went from the first week having 10 points, and that came in the second quarter. And then the second week, we had 21 points in the first quarter, nothing the rest of the week. And then we had points, I believe, in every single quarter this week. We had 7-10, 7-3. And, yeah, special teams, I know it's still needed, but it's still offense because it puts up points. Guess what, folks? Our offense, yeah, it's not perfect still by any means, but we're still progressing. We're still improving. Jay, I understand we're still kind of I'm going to say this for the negatives. But, yeah, okay, I'm going to say that for the negatives. But still, our offense is producing. It's progressing. I saw Rodgers taking the checkdowns today. And the Denver pass rush, it didn't sack. It was pressuring Rodgers, but it didn't sack him. He was playing smart, getting the ball away from the pass rush. I love it.
And I will piggyback off of those couple of things because I have the play-action game seem to be working well. The gotta-have-it plays on offense. I saw a lot more of the gotta-have-it plays in crunch time when you really needed that drive, those plays to keep a drive going. Even when I was tweeting out to give the defense a little bit of a breather, I thought those critical moments were better this week than in the past couple of weeks. You touched on it. No sacks given up and very few pressures. And I don't think – now, again, this is all without watching tape or watching the game again, and this and that. First reaction, I didn't see any quick pressures given up like we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, Rodgers sitting in the pocket waiting for something to develop.
Right, and somebody would break free.
That's when they came.
Make it, yeah. So it wasn't like there was any initial quick pressures given up, which those were the improvements I saw. Anything else there? And then sacks for the defense. The sacks and the takeaways. I guess.
Yeah, so I was going to get to that. I wanted to focus on offense. One more thing.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry. My bad there.
No, you're good. We have a running back duo that can get it done, and I love it. Aaron Jones had his week last week. Jamal Williams had 12 attempts, almost 60 yards, almost 5 yards a carry. I mean, then he has another 27 yards in receiving. I mean, we have a running back combo, folks, that can help be two different facets to this offense, and it's big. I mean, Aaron Jones, yeah, he didn't get cooking today, but Jamal, he was perfect for this style of defense. That's the thing. Aaron Jones, he can be a physical runner, but Jamal Williams is the bigger back, and when you hit a defense back in the mouth, they're going to get tired over and over and over again, and Jamal did that. But yeah, Jamal is one of my positives today.
I do have in my notes in different places just that Jones didn't look like he had that pop off the first step, and even when he saw the hole, he seemed sluggish today. He didn't have that burst like he normally does.
I think it was the field. I think he's not used to playing on those wet, soggy fields.
I was just going to say, I don't know if it was field conditions or just the runs they had set up for him, but the run game with him today wasn't quite as crisp and as explosive. I guess that's the word I'm looking for.
Jamal Williams, I mean, he still got almost 5 yards of carry.
No,
he got 4.9 yards of carry, though.
I'm talking specifically with Aaron Jones.
Well, I mean, that's where it was coming in with it, though.
Williams is a little different back, like you were saying. He's more of a power slasher.
He's a hammer, yeah.
Not a power back per se, but like he still fits well in that zone scheme. But he's a lot less shifty and a lot more. I'm going to stick my foot in the ground and I will put my shoulder into you and carry you for 4 yards. Whereas Jones is kind of that, he'll put his foot in the ground, shift, and break free for 40 or 50. They're different runners. Both are zone runners, but one is a zone hammer and the other is a zone home run hitter.
Well, and that's the thing. They both complement each other. So if one's not doing something the other week, the other one can pick up the other week. So, I mean, it really balances each other out. And I love it. I don't have any qualms about it. Our offense is improving. I understand, like I said, it's still some things there, but we went from 10 to 21 to 27, and Jay came close. It was 20-13 for your prediction, and ended up being 27-16. It was close.
I know. And the defense now has gave up a total of 35 points in 3 weeks. I don't know the division on that, but that's like what, like 11.5 points per game? I mean, come on.
Well, also too, one thing I saw today that I think LaFleur finally noticed, even when we needed extra blockers for when we knew Denver was doing it, Jimmy Graham wasn't in the damn play for when he was either run blocking or pass blocking. I saw Bayless, the newly brought in tight end. I saw Tanyan, and I saw Lewis. I loved all of that.
I don't know how much longer Jimmy Graham can survive this team. I just don't. His play on the field is just, and I know he's injured, but if he's injured, sit him down because he's barely productive when he's healthy, let alone he just kind of wanders around on the field and if I was his teammate, I would be pissed. I think I would be up in his face quite a bit lately. Like, are you going to actually do something or are you just going to wander around the field like a lost child, like a lost freaking puppy? Because that's what he does on most plays, and it's starting to get a little sickening to watch, honestly. It's a little irritating. I would not want to be his teammate. He would not want me on his team because we'd probably fight during a game. I'd be pissed.
He only had one target today in the past game. Tanyan got involved. Lewis got involved. Danny Vitale, 27-yard reception. I was so mad. He was short 1 yard. I wanted the muscle man to get that touchdown. But still, it's just another facet to the offense. They didn't even give him
a chance to run the rock in from the one. That was a little, Jones.
Yeah, even you heard Daryl Johnson say
it. It was good for my fantasy, don't get me wrong, because I had Jones, and he needed that to be productive because he had 16 yards rushing today, for God's sake.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is Daryl Johnson even said, he goes, give 45 the rock, let him earn the touchdown. And I was rooting for him too, but still, nonetheless, I mean, Vitaly still played a huge thing in Jamal Williams having some success. My next positive is what you mentioned earlier. The defense is real, folks. This is the third game in a row. I mean, we gave up 3 the first one, 16 the one before, 16 the one or this week. I mean, what Jay said, we're averaging 11.5 points a game, and
well, that's just off the top of my head. That's not the exact math, but I mean.
Oh, well, there's something I want to address personally. Can the critics of Rashawn Gary please sit down, put your foot in your mouth, and shut the hell up? He got a sack, forced fumble recovery. Freaking also too, the guy was everywhere on tackles. He had limited snaps today, and he was forced 4 tackles. Oh yeah, when he dipped around that one end, right when he got his sack, when he dipped around the end and then bull rushed the freaking tackle. Oh my God! I was like, "There's the player we saw on tape right there," and I'm ecstatic because of the fact that now we have another element because he's getting time now. He still has limited snaps, but he had a ton of snaps today. He's produced. I mean, he had a tackle for loss as well with that sack added on. And then, I'm sorry, Preston Smith, have yourself a day. 5 tackles, 2 tackles for losses, and 3 sacks, and a forced fumble. Darius Smith, 3 tackles, 2 tackles for losses,
those guys
2
are
sacks.
showing up and showing out.
And then, I know you don't want to hear it, but my boy, I love him, Blake Martinez, 2 tackles for losses, 12 total tackles, and 10 solo tackles.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I am not a hater. In fact, am I not...
You always hate on me when I like Blake.
No, he deserves it. I was simply saying that everybody was down. And see, this is kind of where I guess because I have to be the realist here, it seems like I'm being the downer. I'm actually in a way was defending him from all the people that said he wasn't elite, he wasn't good enough, he didn't have all the splash plays. And my point is like, that's great. Like, you can think that all you want. I know he had all the tools to do it. I was just saying the reason I could agree with him not being elite was because of where all those tackles and such came from. My point always was watch what he does when he has edge rushers in a front that keep him clean. And has he not done everything so far in 3 games that I said would happen with this front in front of him? He is making tackles for losses. He is making pass breakups. He's making splash plays. He's had sacks. He's made boom hits. It's not down the field. At the most he's involved in is a couple yards down the field, which not everything is going to be at the line of scrimmage. But everything that I said when he had a front in front of him was the difference between what I knew he was on tape already and what everybody expects him and wants him to be, was the fact that he needed a front like he's playing behind right now. And guess what, people? You can shut up about Blake Martinez not being the elite linebacker now, because he's doing all those quote-unquote elite things in these first 3 games. He did it again today, and it's the front. And I'm not trying to take it away. It was just, I guess, it was a wrong interpretation of me defending the people that said he's not good enough and he doesn't have what it takes. It's a bunch of BS.
He had 32 tackles in 3 weeks, so he's averaging over 10 tackles a game.
How many of those are tackles for loss or within 3 yards in the line of scrimmage compared to the past years where everybody's been down on him? That's my point, is they are all plays that are relevant to actually being part of an elite defense and what you would consider an elite linebacker, and he always had those tools. He just didn't have a front to keep him clean. It wasn't his fault, and I guess that's where
he holds the edge very well on those bubble screens and the little toss-outs. That play on Lindsey.
And I know you're just picking on me because you understand where I'm coming from, but again, I'm talking.
I know. I like to fire you up.
I'm talking to you or through you to them out there, and so this is exactly what we and I knew he could be, and so it's another one of those where people need to kind of sit down and take their time out for a minute, because This is the difference between having an elite front and front